Okay, I have to talk about the scariest pregnancy trend.
Hey, my name is Kara. I'm an ultrasound tech, and let's talk today about this video that I saw from Jen Hamilton, who I love here on this app. And she is talking about how there has seemingly been an uptick in the trend of expectant moms actually refusing the gestational diabetes test, or they are using unproven sugar sources to basically go into this test and then get screened. So, to me, as a healthcare professional, as well as a mom of two, this trend is absolutely wild to me. And I would like to offer my perspective on things as a ultrasound tech. So, for those of you that don't know, gestational diabetes is when the mom ends up having diabetes during pregnancy when she did not have it before. Let's talk about what gestational diabetes even is or what it can mean for your pregnancy. So, when you have gestational diabetes, what is happening is your pancreas is not producing enough insulin in order to get the sugar from your blood into the cells of your body. So, what ends up happening is you have a very high level of sugar in your blood because it simply cannot get out of the blood into your cells due to the lack of insulin. And then your cells cannot use that sugar to make things such as energy. This also affects baby as well because of the fact that insulin cannot pass through the placenta over to baby. So then your blood sugar levels are not only high for yourself, but it is also high for baby because that sugar from your blood is also passing through the placenta over to baby. Baby then needs to work harder, as in the body itself for baby needs to actually produce more insulin as well. Jen also does explain a bit more of the complications that obviously happen during the pregnancy, as well as some of the implications after pregnancy for uncontrolled gestational diabetes. So I definitely encourage you guys to watch her video. But the gist of it is if you have gestational diabetes and it is left untreated, things such as having a very large baby can often happen. And you can also develop conditions such as preeclampsia, which can be fatal to both mom and to baby. And something that is really scary as well about gestational diabetes is many patients actually don't even have any symptoms. So you wouldn't even know that you have gestational diabetes unless you had the screening test done, or heaven forbid, something actually happens to baby. So it's usually around the 24-week mark that gestational diabetes develops in most patients, which is why we always do the gestational diabetic screen at 24 to 28 weeks. And for those of you that also don't know, the screening test is basically drinking this flat, orange flavored, really sugary drink. And then after that, you are going to wait 1 hour, and then you will have your blood tested to see how much sugar is in your blood. If the sugar levels in your blood are elevated, as in it may be an indication that your body is not producing enough insulin and you may have gestational diabetes, a second test is going to be done. And this is where they give you a drink with even more sugar in it, and then they will test your blood once an hour for 3 hours. And if you have an increased sugar level in your blood for 2 or 3 of those times, then they will diagnose you with gestational diabetes. So if you end up testing positive for gestational diabetes, then you and your doctor are going to come up with a plan to try and control it as best you can for the rest of the pregnancy. Just because, again, there are many, many risks to both mom and baby if it is left uncontrolled for the whole pregnancy. And if it is still not controlled by factors such as lifestyle changes, but this may not be enough for some women, and you may end up needing insulin injections as well, just to again regulate that sugar level in your blood. Also, if you have gestational diabetes, then ultrasound is usually used in the third trimester pretty routinely, as in you will get a growth scan at 28, 32, and 36 weeks, just to see how baby is growing and making sure that baby isn't getting too big. Now, an interesting thing about this, though, is ultrasound is notoriously unreliable for predicting the exact weight of baby. We are the most reliable thing that we have right now in current medicine, but at the same time, we can be 1 to 2 pounds off in each direction. So, even though with almost all the gestational diabetic moms that I have scanned, their babies do end up measuring on the bigger side, if not the very big side, ultrasound is still not a great way to determine exactly how much baby weighs. I also learned from Jen's video, which I did not know this before, is that babies who have gestational diabetic mums do gain a lot of weight in their upper torso area, which then makes them more susceptible to things like shoulder dystocia when they are going through the delivery. And that is very dangerous and very life threatening for both mom and baby. But relating this back to ultrasound, if you are gaining a lot of weight in this upper torso area, we are not really going to pick that up on a growth ultrasound, because with ultrasound, we are only measuring baby's head, baby's belly, and baby's arms and legs to get a determination of how much baby is weighing. And if we are not taking that upper torso area into account, which usually we don't, and sometimes with these gestational diabetic babies, they don't necessarily gain a ton of weight in the abdomen. This again could be dangerous because on ultrasound, we are then severely underestimating how big baby is if most of the weight is being gained in that upper torso area. And again, this does increase the risk then for dangerous complications during delivery, such as that shoulder dystocia that I was speaking about earlier. So I really hope this has been helpful for you guys, especially if you were on the fence about whether or not to get the gestational diabetic screen, or if you were planning on using an alternative source of sugar other than the proven glucola drink. I really, really urge you guys to make informed choices. And I know we all want the best for our babies and for our pregnancy, but this trend that I am seeing is really, really dangerous and is not something that I personally would ever risk. So if you guys, again, are just trying to make that informed decision for yourself, your doctor is definitely the best person to talk to. And for those who end up having gestational diabetes, many of them with the proper management and the proper care of their doctor definitely can go on to have healthy pregnancies without any big complications during delivery as well.